Okay. Can someone tell me, can you see me? Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you.
I can see you.
All right. So get ready to take some notes. This framework, you guys, quite literally changed my life, and it has helped all my clients. This is my pride and joy. I'm very passionate about it because it's helped so many people. I know what it's like to be underweight and it never being enough. I know what it's like to be overweight and be super uncomfortable. I know what it's like to have a flat booty and be bloated and defeated and um hold on. And yeah, so I'm just excited to dive in. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I take a holistic approach to fitness. I'm heavy on having the happy and finding your happy medium. And if you're here, it's probably because you've tried everything and you're still just like not able to get the body and the confidence that you want. Maybe the scale won't budge, maybe the bloat won't go away, and maybe you're just like tired of being stuck. And so the good news is that you're in the right place. So, my mission is to empower busy women to break free from the cycle of burnout and self-doubt and overwhelm and just make everything super simple and easy for you so that you can feel confident in your skin and achieve lasting results without restriction and without burnout. So, if you are like me, you've fallen victim to Pinterest or the tabloids or whatever it can be, and you may have been told that in order to reach your goals, like you have to hustle harder, you have to cut carbs, you have to cut sugar, start fasting, uproot your entire life, do Ozempic, whatever fad diet is trending or whatever might be coming. Constantly feel like you need to work out more and eat even less and just have kind of like that all or nothing mentality. Feeling like if you don't have your shit together like all the time, there's just like no point in doing it. So if that resonates, you're in the right place. If you've just been working out and like eating right and like it's just not working, maybe you're just like super burnt out and stressed out and bloated despite doing all of the things. Maybe you've tried even cutting carbs or fasting and it just leaves you like feeling worse off and like more frustrated and exhausted than like when you started. And you just want to enjoy your life without obsessing over every single meal or feeling guilty after eating out. So if you're tired of kind of just like this all or nothing mindset, then I got you. And I am so happy that you're here. And like, I just want to let you know that like being stuck in this like all or nothing cycle of restriction is actually like the very thing that's keeping you stuck. And I just want to like let you know that there truly is an easier, simpler way. And that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So, a little bit about me, really quick, if you're not familiar with my story and why I'm so passionate about this. Sorry, there's a kitty cat. Um, but literally in seventh grade, I was 12 years old and I had disordered eating. So, like, I would literally limit myself to one meal a day and try to be as skinny as possible. I would hop on the scale every single morning and it would say 99, and like that was fine. But if it ever said 100, like, I'm done. It could not happen. So, a lot of people around me kind of like reinforce this. I don't know if this resonates with any of you guys with like family members or like grandparents, kind of just like complimenting the way that you look, reinforcing that like maybe you shouldn't eat your whole entire plate or making comments like if you do finish your plate, like, oh my God, you ate so much. And just making you get even more in your head about it at even like such a young, impressionable age. So I just don't ever want like the future generation of the future girlies to ever go through that. But then one extreme to the next, of course. In college, I gained a bunch of weight. I was literally in Orange Theory 5 days a week. I was a server running around, super active. My skin was the worst it's ever been in my life. I was super inflamed. I was super burnt out. I never had a regular period my entire life, you guys. Since I was 12 years old, I would get my period once a year. And when I would get it, it was like all the months combined into one and it was like so miserable. It's like menopausal, like it's insane. But not anymore with this method. So there is hope, especially I know there's a couple people joining that have like PCOS and hormone problems and irregular cycles and stuff. So I just want to say this works if you do or do not have hormone imbalances, and that's what we're going to cover in a bit. But anyways, I was winging it. I was trying everything and like nothing really worked. if I did see progress, like I would just gain it back. Like maybe not right away, but like 6 months, a year later, it was like all my hard work just went out the window. So at the end of the day, like you can only add in so much cardio and restrict yourself so much food wise, and your body will crash, you will burn, you will hit a breaking point, and like you still won't get the body that you want. Or once again, like it won't last. So I didn't understand anything about metabolism or hormone or gut health, and that's kind of what led to the yo-yo like dieting cycles. So um, basically, that's what I'm here to show you guys today is how to not get stuck in the yo-yo. So my clients with this method no longer have to restrict themselves and just like hope and pray that it works. They don't have to like wonder if or like when they're ever going to hit their goals because it's just like a guarantee. They don't have to feel like they have to make sacrifices to their life or like preferences in order to reach your goals. Um, or wonder like, okay, what if this works for me, but then like I just lose it all? And they don't have to just survive, but thrive. Like my whole thing is like, why are we just surviving when life truly can be abundant? And when you feel good internally and like you have the energy, like you will show up better at work. You will be confident to ask for the promotion or, the raise or whatever it is. You'll be performing better, like productivity wise, and you'll be able to like show up better in like relationships and like with your partners and have better intimacy and like show up as a better mom. Like it really starts sometimes as like an aesthetic goal, but I always am here to show you like that's just one piece of the entire puzzle. So, um, today's class is going to show you, we're going to talk all about metabolism, how to, of course, lose fat without extremes, how to find balance between life and your goals, how to reset your body systems, and then also talk about gut and hormone health. So whether you need to lose the first like 10 pounds or whether this is like the last 10 pounds that like won't budge, this is going to be your roadmap to success and you'll be able to identify where you're at and kind of where you need to hop in at. So I'm going to show you that the right way isn't this hustle harder mentality, and that often leads to your self-destruction. And I know that you want quick results, but I just want to remind you, like the quicker they come is the faster that they leave. So if you don't have an exit strategy after the diet, this is where you might crumble and fall. And I really created this framework because I'm just like so like tired of seeing people struggle. And especially when I'm talking to so many women, I've talked to probably 80% of you in depth in the past about like what methods that you're trying and like you're doing all the right things, you're going to the doctor and the doctor is probably not even helping you or they're just saying like lose weight, you're following these restrictive plans and like your metabolism is still not budging, your hormones are still messed up and yeah, I just don't want to see you guys continue to like go so far to where it just makes you want to throw in the towel and do nothing. And then if you guys have been around for a while, and thanks Billy for your comment in the chat, I used to throw these 8-week challenges. And so they were really cool. And I still love it because you can still see what's possible for you with this method as well in the short amount of time. But the issue with the 8-week challenges is I would tell the girlies, okay, this is how to maintain it. And then be like, okay, like good luck. And then like sometimes you would rebound or not be able to stick with it. And so it's like you would lose 10, 15 pounds and then sometimes just kind of gain it all back. So I wanted to provide like a real long-term solution. And this is like the exit strategy and like the diet after the diet. So basically, I'm going to walk you through what it would look like to do a 6-month metabolic reset so that you can have a whole transformation. So obviously getting results in 4 to 8 weeks, but then learning how to maintain it in the long term after. So um, this is one of my clients, Valeria. I just wanted to show this because she's a mom of two, a student, works full time, only was able to work out twice a week at her house for 30 minutes, lost 14 pounds in 8 weeks, and then I was able to show her how to sustain it after. So it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then my first masterclass was called the Balanced Life Blueprint. If you have not watched this, literally like message me after this and I will send you the link because this was basically like the foundation to this class. And so you'll still be able to follow along, but I'm just not going to dive into the Balanced Life Blueprint, but it's essentially like how you'll set up your routine. So you have to have a set amount of workouts that you do every single week and then have a calorie goal to match. If you're working out a different amount of times, like 3 times this week, 5 next week, 1 the following week, it's really hard to measure what your calories in should be. So it really comes into calories in versus calories out. And this blueprint really shows you how to do that. You could technically even work out 0 days a week. It doesn't matter as long as your calorie and protein goal match. And so, anyways, this Balanced Life Blueprint is literally like my child, my baby, my bread and butter, and is what has helped all of my clients. So I highly recommend looking at that. No gatekeeping here. It can literally show you how to set up your routine by yourself. Okay, so building off of the Balanced Life Blueprint, it comes down to calories in versus calories out. By default, if you eat less calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight. Any fad diet you see is just a different method of putting you in a calorie deficit, whether it's keto, whether it's Weight Watchers, whether it's fasting. These are all just ways so that you will be consuming less calories than your body burns every single day. The second thing is if you're eating the same amount of calories that you burn, that's how you maintain your weight and you stay exactly where you're at. Then if you're eating more than you're burning, you're going to gain weight. If you're like lifting and hella heavy and like eating a shit ton of protein, this is what you'll see as like bulking. We're not going to really go into that here today. And most of the time, it's really not necessary for us girlies. So, but I just wanted to kind of obviously show that and break that down. But we're going to focus on the calorie deficit, why everyone's probably here. And then I'm going to show you the importance of hopping into maintenance and how this is actually how you change your body, heal your body, and maintain your results. So at the end of the day, you're usually under eating or overeating in accordance to your goal. And so it's all about finding where you're currently at, where you need to be, and then learning how to bridge the gap. If you're following the method of calories in versus calories out and you're in a calorie deficit, there's only so long you can be in a calorie deficit. There's only so much more movement you can add in and so much more food that you can take away until you hit a breaking point. Like your body will just stop responding, your metabolism will become damaged. And so while calories in, calories out is like the foundation, it will really just only take you so far before you get stuck. So that's what I'm kind of going to break down for you next. But if you don't even know like where your calories are supposed to be, I just want to say like that's the starting point. So this is going to be the order of importance. So like people are always like, what do I focus on first? Like, is fiber important? Like, what is important? What should I be eating? What should I be doing? And so I just wanted to show this order of importance. If you take anything away, like screenshot this. At the end of the day, calories are king. You really need to focus on calories in versus calories out and having a daily calorie goal that you can hit. After that, protein is the queen. So you'll see it until I'm blue in the face. Like all I'm ever talking about is protein. Every single meal that I post is high protein. Like this is so important. Once again, even if you do not work out, I know a lot of people are worried about protein and they're like, is this going to make me bulky? Is this going to make me like, no, this is going to make you look lean and snatched and toned. And like, even if you don't work out a day in your life, like have a protein goal and have at least 100 grams of protein a day. Like bare minimum, every single person in here needs 100 grams of protein a day. But focus on those first. And once again, the Balanced Diet Blueprint shows that. After you go so far, once again, you can only diet for so long before you stop. And then we start looking, like needing to start looking at things like your metabolism, your hormones, and your gut health, which I'll dive into now. So your metabolism just is basically the process by which that your body converts food and then in turn how it affects whether you're going to gain weight or lose weight. Metabolic adaptation is how your metabolism then responds to how much food that you give it. So our bodies are really smart. If you give it 1,000 calories a day, it's going to adapt and function off 1,000 calories a day to keep you alive. It's not going to be functioning very well, and you're going to feel like shit, and you're going to be very tired, and you're going to be wondering why, but it will respond and it will keep you alive. But chronic dieting and just like over restricting calories and under eating for extended periods of time is what actually slows your metabolism. So if you're like, I'm eating nothing, Taylor, and I'm not losing weight, I'm gonna tell you, you probably damaged your metabolism, and I'm gonna show you how to fix it. But basically, your body's slows your metabolism down to conserve as much energy as possible to keep all your organs and things running, which is why your body stalls out and plateaus, leaving you like frustrated and probably like binge eating everything inside because you're starving. But your body, it's not important to your body. It has other things it needs to focus on. So if you're someone who like skips breakfast, and then you're like starving all day and you come home and you like binge everything inside because you're starving, this could be you and you might not even realize it because you're not thinking like, oh, I'm not eating. But if you're not eating regularly, then this can happen. So more restriction, sorry, isn't always better when it comes to dieting. And so you might need to spend time restoring your metabolism first so that your body can then respond to your dieting phase. So we need to rev up that metabolism by eating at maintenance, which was that middle part of the phases I showed you. Um, and being there as long as possible in order to heal and gain balance. And so have implementing these diet breaks or these maintenance phases throughout your journey is what's actually going to heal your metabolism, boost it, and then even affect you next year so that next year your metabolism will still stay boosted and running and not stall out. So that's the first thing. And so the main thing to fixing your metabolism is having a dieting phase and then having the maintenance phase. Then we also need to look at hormones. As women, this is very, very important. If you want to have a baby in the future and you're kind of struggling with your hormones, or if you're doing all of like the right things and it's still not working, that's kind of why I wanted to show you like the order of importance, because it's like if you're doing the calories, you're doing the protein, and like you're not dieting 24/7, then it's probably your hormones, and you should probably go to your doctor and ask them to run a blood panel. They probably will give you a hard time and give you the runaround. And if you need to look outside, I can send you guys a place to run your own labs. But usually they'll want to like know what the symptoms that you're experiencing are. But a lot of women don't even know because it's kind of random or things that we wouldn't really associate with hormone imbalances. So that's why I really wanted to show you guys this so that if you are experiencing any of this, you can target it obviously with the framework I'm about to tell you, but then if you really want like some concrete answers on like what the hormone imbalances could be, then these are signs to look for. So once again, if you're gaining weight or you can't lose weight, even though you're dieting and exercising, if you're like struggling to get through the day, even though you're sleeping 8 hours a night and like you can't even have like the energy and you're like covered in brain fog, if you have like an overwhelming, intense craving for sugar, carbs, digestive issues like bloating, gas, constipation, even though you eat healthy. If you are experiencing like severe mood swings and irritability and anxiety, or like you just can't sleep throughout the night and are struggling with insomnia. Most importantly, if you have an irregular period or like severe PMS symptoms, this is like the number one thing. Like that is not normal. Like we are supposed to bleed every single month. And if you are not, we need to like that's the first thing I'm going to look at if you're my client because there's something going on here. If you're losing your hair or if you always have like cold hands and feet, this could be signs of a thyroid issue. So these are just some of the common things that you can see, and it's kind of just your body's way of telling you like your hormones are out of whack, which is then also affecting your metabolism and making it harder for you to lose weight and just go on with your journey. So the reason why I bring up like if you want to like have a baby in the future and you're experiencing these things, like the number one thing that doctors try to do is put you on birth control, but that might be counterintuitive if your goal is to get pregnant. So sometimes they'll just tell you like, oh, just lose weight, but don't actually give you the resources on how to get there because like what are they going to do? Check in with you every single week and give you a plan? Like, no, that's where a coach like me comes in. But with this framework, I'm going to show you how to heal your body without having to rely on medications forever and how to actually heal the root cause of what's going on internally instead of just trying to cover it up. Okay, let's see if this will let me go forward. Okay, so the key hormones I want to talk about today are your thyroid. So your thyroid also helps your body burn calories at an appropriate rate. If it is underactive, this is hypothyroidism. This makes your metabolism slow down and for you to gain weight. If it's overactive, this is hyperthyroidism, and this is rapid metabolism and unintended, unwanted weight loss. Insulin is how your food gets broken down into glucose, aka sugar, and then insulin is what your body uses like for energy. So if you eat more than what your body needs, it gets stored as fat. If you're insulin resistant, it makes it even more difficult. Shout out my PCOS girls. But and then leptin is another important hormone that basically is your body's built-in stop eating button. So if this hormone is out of whack, it causes you to overeat because it's not signaling to your brain that you're full. So you're just going to keep eating and eating and eating because the hormone's literally not telling your brain that you're full. Ghrelin is when your stomach is what tells your brain that your stomach is empty. So also that can affect your appetite if that's out of whack as well. And then lastly, cortisol. I know this is getting like a lot of hype on TikTok and stuff nowadays, and people are so like anti-cortisol. This is your stress hormone, and I want to reiterate like this isn't bad, but too much of it is what's bad, and then can also affect your body and have you continue to like hold on to weight, which is why managing stress and getting good quality sleep is so, so, so important to restore your hormones and get it in like the optimal state for fat loss. Um, and also why like the three pillars in the Balanced Diet Blueprint is so important because I show you workouts, your nutrition, and then how to manage your stress, sleep, your mindset, and balance out your hormones so that your body is primed up and like ready to respond and internally like everything's flowing. So that's it for the hormone part. Now on to gut health. This is also something kind of popular, but a lot of people, I would say, like probably don't need to worry about this. Once again, it's at the top of the pyramid because it doesn't always need to be addressed right away. But if you're doing all the other things, then your gut might need a little bit of love. So, if you're constantly bloating or having gas, or if your skin is like constantly breaking out, or you have eczema, if you have irregular digestion, constipation, you're feeling tired even after sleeping all night, mood swings, cravings, difficulty losing weight. I want you to realize a lot of these symptoms I also just said for the hormones because everything is connected. Like you're going to see every single thing in our body is connected, our metabolism, hormones, gut. And so a lot of these symptoms that you're experiencing, can be kind of because simultaneously all of them need to be focused on. But your gut health is important because your gut is how your body absorbs nutrients and also converts that to energy. And so, like regulating those hormones that we talked about, managing how your body stores fat, and then also like regulates inflammation. So, if you like are super inflamed all the time still and feel like you're just holding like a lot of water weight, this also could be why. And with the framework, I just want to reiterate, it's going to heal everything simultaneously and all come together. So that's kind of the cool thing about it is that like you don't have to do 5 million things and then you're like, hey, I'm doing this for my weight loss, I'm doing this for my hormones, I'm doing this for gut health. Like it's all healed simultaneously. Screenshot this. If you're tired of feeling like a busted can of biscuits all the time, then this is something that you can focus on. So, a lot of people know about fiber, and I know that people have heard of probiotics, but I don't think like everyone knows the difference between the two. So, probiotics is the actual gut bacteria that maintains and restores your gut. And I recommend having 2 to 3 servings of these a day, and I listed out those foods there. They're basically anything fermented. So yogurt, anything pickled, sauerkraut, pickles, pickled onions, kimchi. And then fiber is important too. And fiber, which is prebiotics, is actually the food for the gut bacteria. So it's food for the probiotics to munch on. So you need both of them simultaneously to keep like a homeostasis in that gut. So how much fiber should you be eating? I also want to say too much of a good thing is not a good thing. If you're eating a shit ton of fiber, that is just as bad as eating not enough. So I also like people, I feel like want to eat more and more and more. And it's like, no, that can actually be just as bad as not getting enough. So just be careful. Depending on how many calories you eat, determines how much fiber you should be having. So they say that you want to have about 14 grams of fiber per every 1,000 calories that you eat. So let's just say you had a standard 2,000 calorie diet. That puts you at about 28 grams of fiber a day. And then I listed some of the high fiber foods there. This is one of my client, Marissa. She came to me doing HIIT classes every single day, super burnt out. She's like, I'm not eating anything. Why isn't it working? And I actually had her track her calories for 2 weeks, and I realized that her calories were super low. And so when I actually brought her calories up, then it reset her metabolism. She was able to finally lose some weight. And this picture was just after 8 weeks. So I just love that her biggest takeaway was that she learned that you can eat food and that actually helps you lose weight. So this is the framework. So this is the Happy Medium Fit program that I put my clients through. This is a 6 month ordeal. And so the reason why I'm showing you guys this today is because once again, like a lot of people focus on the dieting phase, but there's actually 4 phases you need to go through to restore your metabolism and then also maintain your results from your diet long term. So I'm giving you guys a strategy. Once again, I'm just tired of seeing people like see short-term results and not being able to to maintain it. And I just don't want you to rebound. So I want you to think of these 4 phases as going through like 4 seasons, and that's kind of why I laid it out like this. They all serve a different purpose, but it's kind of like never ending, and you can continue to repeat the cycle. And every time that you do complete the cycle, your body actually will respond faster, more effectively that every single time that you complete it. So, and also every time that you complete it, you'll be able to be bringing your calories up even higher so that you're every time you finish, you'll be able to eat more food and have more calories to play with and have more flexibility due to your boosted metabolism. And so you'll be able to maintain your results, probably eating more than what you've been used to eating before. So I know a lot of girls are really scared to do this, but our bodies often need this increase in food. And so the goal kind of like with this is phase one is all about assessing where you're at, establishing the fundamentals. So we got to see like where your mindset is. We got to make see where your current nutrition is, and if you're working out, if you're not working out. But the reason why this is important is because if you ever go in and like try to put in like a calorie calculator online, or if you ever work with like even like an in-person trainer and they try to shoot out some random calories at you, they're actually doing you a disservice because they have no idea how your metabolism is currently functioning. So if they don't know how many calories you're currently eating and how your body is responding and how you're feeling in that response, then they're really just doing you a disservice. So assessing where you're at, and then phase two is priming your metabolism. So we're starting to bridge the gap. And then phase three is the diet. It's the calorie deficit. I recommend dieting for only 12 weeks max, and then taking a diet break and going into a reverse diet, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. So I know it's kind of overwhelming with like the jargon. But basically that's when you hop into that maintenance phase and you want to be there as long as possible. So bare minimum as long as you dieted. So if you dieted for the whole 12 weeks, you need to be at maintenance for at least 12 weeks before you repeat the cycle. The goal is to get to where you want to be and then maintain it forever. So you don't want to constantly be dieting every year for the next 5 years. Like the goal is to get to where you want to be and then just hang out and chill at the lifestyle liberation for life. And then if you have like an event coming up or a vacation and you want to diet, then you can and go into it, and it can be short and sweet. So I want you to think of dieting as like a vacation where you limit it to a couple weeks per year, and then maintenance is living at home because we spend most of the year at home. So what does this look like? Let's say you have your baseline. This is your current maintenance calories. You're working out 3 days a week. You're eating 2,000 calories a day, and you're like, hey, I'm ready to diet. What should you do? You should slowly, 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 ever so slowly increase your cardio and decrease calories. So I want you to think of this as like climbing a mountain. You start at base camp, you're gathering all your supplies, like you're chilling, and then you slowly start going up. I want you to remember if you start out with like 30 minutes of cardio every single day, you're gonna have to increase it up to like an hour, which is like unsustainable. So if you start at like 10 minutes and then slowly increase from there, you'll be able to be more time efficient without having to spend more time in the gym because like nobody has time for that. But then also you're gonna stall out and burn out. So Sorry, Zoom's telling me I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to power through this. Okay, so there's only so far that you can go before you hit a plateau, and there's only so much cardio you can add in and so much food you can take away before once again your body stops responding. So once you hit the top of the mountain, your only choice is to come back down. So this is where you reverse diet and slowly decrease cardio back to zero, and then increase your calories back up to your new maintenance levels. In the same fashion that we increased it, we're going to decrease it following the same structure. And then once again, rinse and repeat as desired. So 90% of you guys skip this part. I used to skip it too. I've been doing this shit for 10 years, you guys, and finally figured this out 3 years ago with my clients. Before that, I would plateau, rebound, I would be starving. Like, please don't be like me. I just want to show you an example of what this looks like when my clients start to reverse diet. So like on the left, they're eating way lower calories and then we slowly add it back in. And I just want to show you that they actually look better in my opinion too, because you can continue to tone up, build a butt. And basically, I hate using the word skinny fat, but like this is where you build muscle and get toned and have the hourglass shape. And you do that by eating more and repairing your metabolism. So I know it can be scary. I highly recommend hiring a coach if you're gonna go through this at least the first few times, just so that you can see what it looks like and not be in your head about it and be scared. My DMs are always open, you guys. Like I'm always here to help you, but integrating this method is crucial, or else you're gonna stay exactly where you are and just be stuck in the never-ending cycle. So, um, this is what it looks like for me. I just did this year. This was right after I got my formal PCOS diagnosis. I had high testosterone, hypothyroidism. I was in my running era and training for a half marathon, which was horrible for my body due to my hormones, because my cortisol was skyrocketing and my hormones were just shot. I was inflamed as fuck. I had to rebalance my gut, my metabolism, my hormones. My doctor said, like, just lose weight. And luckily, I had this framework because I knew what to do and I did it quickly and efficiently. And so I started at 146, dieted for 6 weeks, ended at 132, maintained that from February to July. So for 6 months, I was eating at maintenance, not dieting. And maintenance is about 1 to 3 pound range. If you gain more than 3 pounds, you're really no longer in maintenance and you're actually in that calorie surplus category. And then I went into a second dieting phase just to tone up right quick. And now I'm at 127 and now I'm currently back into maintenance. So I'm just going to be smooth sailing from here. So this is what the calendar would look like and how I dieted for only 3 months and then have been chilling at maintenance just to give you an idea of what that looks like. Without this framework, like you're going to keep throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying different methods, continuing to binge and restrict, feel pressured by cleanses, waist trainers, what is it called? Cool sculpting. Feeling guilty every time that you want to eat out or you're turning down social events and you're just going to be like nowhere closer to where you want to be. So I want you just to imagine like a year from now, you've implemented all the things I just taught you, and you have just like the tools to find the balance you've been looking for. You're no longer pressing snooze. You're no longer having an afternoon 3 p.m. crash. You're no longer feeling like guilty, and you're no longer bloating when you do eat out. And just like no more stress. You have a positive outlook. You're showing up better in all facets of your life. And you're just a well-oiled running fat burning machine. And maybe you're even like being a positive influence on others around you. And like I said, like breaking those generational, beliefs and patterns. So, if you signed up for this training, let's be real, you didn't land here by accident. You've probably tried to do it on your own. You're probably burning out. And I know that you're probably just like ready to finally take control and you're done feeling stuck and you know that you want to just
Hi,
like
Papa.
reap the rewards of all the hard work that you're putting in. And you just want to feel confident in your own skin again forever, not just for, a couple months after you like achieve your goals. Like you want to feel this way forever and be able to um, just make your vision a reality. So you have two options. You can stay in, self-sabotage and you continue to do what you're doing and procrastinate, compare yourself to other people, wait for the perfect time. There's never a perfect time. Continue to doubt yourself and break promises to yourself. And maybe you're just overthinking things and kind of just in a loop of past failures and it's just easier to stay in your comfort zone. Or you can step into self-care, say yes to you and your goals, keep the promises you made to yourself, and like believe that you are worthy, you are more than capable, I promise. And um, it really can just be easier and more enjoyable and more fulfilling. So um, I want you to remember, like, I've been in your shoes before. I started out not knowing what I was doing. I had no clue what was going on. And I just want you to know, like, you don't have to keep struggling with a body that refuses to change. So if this sounds like you, I just want to let you know I'm here for you. And basically, for everyone who's on here and who signed up, I'm offering free strategy calls to help you find where you are in the four phases and help you create a custom roadmap to bridge the gap between where you're at and where you want to be so you can drown out the noise of what other people are doing and that you can know exactly like what you need to be doing. And yeah, so I think that that's it. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say, but that's pretty much it. I really want to encourage you guys to take advantage of this call. I am going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this. So everyone who stayed to the end, Emma, if you're in here, please screenshot everyone in here. I'm going to put all your guys' names and I'll do a little giveaway thing on my Instagram stories here in a minute. But I'm going to be able to help two of you in here, more hands-on and give you, that custom weekly support and help you bridge those gaps. So I'll be sending you guys the recording and the slides to your email right after this. And also, most importantly, the link so that you can schedule that free consultation call. I love you guys. I'm here to support you guys. And I'm so excited to see what happens next for you guys. So sorry if I was talking really fast. I have 3 minutes left and I was trying to go through that as fast as possible. But thank you guys and have a good night.